We welcome you to the start of sectionals on Friday Night Fever. Just about every playoff team is in action this week, with one exception. Since only 7 teams compete in Class AA locally, the top seed CBA has the week off. They automatically advance to the semis to face the winner of tomorrow's game in Utica between Proctor and Liverpool. The 2 seed in AA is CNS. North Stars have one loss by 1 point to the brothers. They opened up at home in Cicero against Henniger. Jackson Razmovsky throws it over the middle to Nathan Williams. North Stars get on the board first at 7-0. Very next possession, Razmovsky switches it up, hands the ball off to Laquan Lemon, who finishes the job, runs it on in for another CNS 6. North Stars win big at home, 54-14. On to the 3-6 matchup in Baldwinsville. The Bees playing host to Rome Free Academy. Second half, Beeville up big and adding to it. Greg Marinelli hands it off to Brandon Levin. He tries the left side, and he likes what he finds. Muscles his way across the goal line for 6 for the Bees. Very next possession, hot play nominee. The ball goes to Caleb Young, and he knows what to do with it. Young weaving his way 50 yards for the touchdown. Baldwinsville routs RFA 58-20. Out of Class A now, where there is a heavy favorite. FM steamrolled through the Section 3 competition this season, winning by an average of 4 touchdowns per game. Our Alex Sims now takes us through the night in Class A. Alex?
Yes, Steve. Fayetteville Manlius has just one game this season against Section 3 competition, decided by single digits. That was a 29-20 victory over West Genesee in mid-September. And earlier this month, the Hornets took care of second-seeded Whitesboro 40-14. So, yeah, FM is the favorite. TJ Connolly and company opening up at home tonight against ESM. First drive of the game, it's who else? TJ Connolly running it in from 24 yards out. PAT was no good, so it's 6-0 Hornets. The FM defense doing its part, forcing a 3-and-out on each of ESM's first 2 possessions, and the offense would turn those stops into points. First, it's Connolly again. We're going to make this a hot play nominee, not so much because of the play itself, more so the accomplishment. TJ Connolly scores 6 touchdowns tonight. Wow. Breaking Damian Rhodes' career record. Connolly now has 26 as FM rolls past the Spartans 55-28. Corcoran, the 5th seed on the road at number 4 seed New Hartford, a team they beat by just 1 score a few weeks ago. Cougars find the end zone here. Justin Wright Jr. fires a ball down the field to Myquez Williams, who gets tripped up but gets into the end zone. Game knotted up at 6, but the New Hartford's 2-headed monster all-state running back Alex Colliver and Junior Cole Rue is too strong. A tight one all the way to the end. Corcoran's season comes to a close. 21-12 is the final. Next up, we head out to West Genesee. The Wildcats, the 3 seed, hosting 6 seed Carthage. Vincent Ferenzi with the fake, even fakes out the News Channel 9 crew. Gets the ball in the hands of Francisco Cross, who takes it all the way home for a Wildcat 6. West Jenny is moving on. 36-7 is the final. Auburn on the road at Westboro. The winner of this game looking at a matchup with West Genesee Warriors getting on the board early and often. Kyle Meyer with a pair of 50-plus yard touchdown runs in a TD pass in the first quarter. And then this decides to hand it off to the running mate, Nicholas Polnak, who finds the end zone to make it 28-0. Possession after the TD. It's Auburn's Kamari Perry with a strong run, gets the Maroons inside the 15-yard line. But next play, he sees pay dirt and gets a little loose with the ball. The knee of Anthony Kelly forces it out inside the 5, and Whitesboro recovers to stop the threat. Whitesboro advances with a win, 42-7. Well, that does it for Class A, but the fever is far from over. Steve's got you covered the rest of the way. Hi, Steve.
All right, thank you, Alex. The top seed in Class B is Indian River. Warriors are unbeaten, ranked 4th in the state, welcoming in 8th-seeded West Hill. First quarter, Indian River takes the lead. Derek Jones from 5 yards out. It's 8-0. But West Hill answers later in the first. Elijah Welsh tosses a swing pass to Keller O'Hearn. He takes it in for the score. West Hill down 8-6. Second quarter, the visitors take the lead. Welsh hits Colin White right here for the touchdown, putting West Hill up 12-8. Indian River, though, gets it rolling after that. Jones scores from a yard out. Indian River goes on to take it by a final of 54-25. Indian River will get the winner of this one in the semis. Tech Central squaring off with Central Valley Academy over at Corcoran. This one a defensive slugfest. First quarter, the ITC defense in hot pursuit strings out the running play, forces a punt. Moments later, later, the CBA defense with the sack. This game was scoreless at the half. Central Valley Academy would dominate the second half en route to a 23-7 win. In the other half of the Class B bracket tonight, Homer and Camden both advanced. Trojans took care of Oneida 46-0, while Camden was a 44-21 winner at home over Chittenango. Those two will square off next week in the semis. All right, we need to take a timeout. When we return, we'll take you through the rest of the night on the gridiron, plus a couple of... All right, we're back on the Fever as we resume in Class C, which was very competitive during the regular season. 6 teams entered the playoffs with at least 6 wins. 2 of those teams went head-to-head in Geddes. 6-1 Ludden, the 4 seed, hosting 6-2 Holland Patton, the 5 seed. This was a very tight game early on. How about giving some credit to the Gaelic Knights defense? Malik Hines gets to the Holland Patton quarterback. That would bring up 4th down and force a punt. Ludden up 7 at the break. Gaelic Knights find the end zone again here in the 3rd. Xavion Strife hands it off to Jabari Clark for the 21-yard touchdown run that pulls Ludden to within 2. That's as close as they would get, though. HP adds a late safety and wins it on the road by a final of 18-14. Section 3 Class C football continuing now as we go up north to General Brown. The Lions hosting Skinny Atlas, and the Lakers strike first with a hot play nominee. How about Patrick Herr with the pick 6? Just like that, 7-0 Skinny Atlas, but the Lions would have the answer. Seamus Devine plows in from a yard out. The Lions would go on to beat Skinny Atlas, ending the Lakers season 41-21. On to soccer, a couple of sectional champs being crowned at SUNY Cortland. This was the matchup everyone wanted to see. Unbeaten and 3rd-ranked ESM taking on the defending state champs from New Hartford. ESM led 1-0 at the break. Midway through the second half, Willa Pratt finds Anna Rayhill, who goes far post to knot the score up at 1. Then a little more than 10 minutes later, Rayhill strikes again, this time from the other side. Very similar looking play, very similar looking shot. And that's the difference. New Hartford wins its 56th straight game. 2-1 was the final. In the late game out there at SUNY Cortland, it was the top 2 seeds in Class B going out, West Hill and Central Valley Academy. Midway through the second half, Hannah Goodness the free kick. Jules Bleskoski there to head it home, giving West Hill a 1-0 lead. It would stay that way until the final few minutes. Bleskoski picks up a big insurance goal. The Lady Warriors win it 2-0, claiming their first sectional title in girls soccer since 2017. To vote for your favorite hot plays from tonight, just go to localsyr.com over the weekend. You can watch the show again and make your selections. We'll unveil the